We spoke about salt water. Tanakama says you're allowed to make a small amount, but not a large amount, because it looks like pickling, which is similar to tanning. Then Rabbi Yossi argues and he says, no, the way the Gemara explained, a large amount and a small amount is all not allowed. Why? Because it'll confuse people. If you tell them a bit is allowed, they'll say, oh, every malacha a bit is allowed. So even a bit is not allowed. So he only permits if you mix oil with the salt or the water first, and then it won't combine very well. Now, even according to Rabbanan, you're not allowed to make very strong salt water, which is typically made for herring, which is 2/3 salt and 1/3 water. That you're not allowed to do, even a small amount, and the sim would be if the egg will float. Okay? Then we spoke about different food that you're not allowed to salt. So one opinion says anything which has an effect from the salt, as long as you do a few pieces together and you just leave them, and therefore they're gonna change by the salt, which is a radish or an egg. But the maskana is no. Only such vegetables where it's normal to salt them or to pickle them. And then, on the other hand, even if you just do two, whether it's together, whether it's one after another, there's two opinions about that. But even if you just do two, it looks like you're pickling. And therefore it's not allowed. But the dip, and that's the halacha, but the dip in one by one, that's fine. Now, we mentioned that the halacha, since the whole problem is that it's similar to picklings, if you put in another ingredient which is not the way you would pickle with salt, so it's not similar to tanning with salt, then it's allowed. That's why you can put in oil or vinegar, and that's fine. Okay? Then we spoke about, for digestion, it's good to eat the egg white as well, the outside of the radish, and the outside of the esrog. Then we spoke about Yam HaMelech. Yam HaMelech is very salty, so you don't drown in it. A log never drowns in water, but a person doesn't drown in Yam Sdoim. You're allowed to wash yourself with the water of Yam HaMelech, because it looks like regular water, so you know, and other people think that it's regular water. However, to put it on your eye and to blink, to let it in, that's not allowed, because the blinking is obviously doing it to heal, and healing on Shabbos is not allowed, because you might come to grind herbs, because that was a typical way to make medicines then. The same is regarding putting wine on your eye. So on the eye, then it was a normal thing to wash with it, but in your eye it was not normal, so in your eye you're not allowed to. Saliva of someone who didn't eat yet was also something healing, but that's something disgusting that you would never put unless it was for healing, and therefore even on top of your eye you're not allowed to put it. Then we said that you're allowed to soak patches to heal your eye before Shabbos. I guess it was something which they would maybe sometimes use for washing their eyes as well, but you're doing it to heal. But you have a reminder not to come to grind the herbs because you're soaking it before Shabbos. Everyone else looks at it and thinks that it's you're just washing your eyes, so therefore you're fine. Okay. However, you're not allowed to blink. You're not allowed to do anything obvious that it's here to heal, because that ruins the point. The point is that it shouldn't be obvious. Then we spoke about Shmuel had special patches and Maruka had them, so he has to send me some. But Shmuel has a better idea. Wash your eyes with a bit of cold water, wash your hands and feet in the evening with hot water. That prevents the need to have these healing patches. And we got a brisa which says the same.